Today we're looking at hydrogen water. And is this a scam? Is it a hoax? Well, it's actually a little bit of both. We found a lot of scammers out there. They may be producing harmful components, including chlorine. So we're going to dive into all of that right now. All right, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gary B. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. We are the Swell Score. We aim to uncover the truth in wellness, find efficacious products, and test brands for ingredients and make sure products have what they say they have on it and they do what they're supposed to do on it. So many people have emailed us and asked, why did we suddenly decide to embrace the hydrogen water craze? It's everywhere in the news. You see celebrities like Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian, Gary Brecka, Joe Rogan. All of a sudden, everybody's gone hydrogen water crazy. What's going on? Is this some newfangled fad? Well, actually, it's not. And in fact, we dove into the research and discovered that this water actually has been around for almost 80 years, actually longer than that. But it's been studied and developed over 80 years ago, started in Japan, and then actually went to China. And in fact, they've been using these devices for a very long time and studying them in Japan. Well, there's over 1,300 studies that have been done on the benefits of hydrogen water. I would say most of them are not relatable because they're too small of a group, or the science is flawed, or they were sponsored by people who actually have a vested interest in the outcome. But there is a significant amount of studies that have been shown to show beneficial benefits of hydrogen water. Drinking hydrogen-infused water. There's people that actually breathe hydrogen water through cannulas that you can put in your nose. There's people that are bathing in hydrogen water. So what's going on? Is this a truth or a scam? All right, so let's look at the study. So here's a study from the National Institute of Health. It was published on the National Institute of Health. It was actually kind of a meta-analysis, and that actually confirmed that there are significant benefits, or statistically significant benefits, to drinking hydrogen-infused water. By the way, how much is the therapeutic dose? Well, basically, if you have one of these bottles, they're about 10 ounces, which is not a lot. And the reason why they're so small is because it takes a lot of pressure to, it takes a lot of pressure to actually add the hydrogen back into the water, and they're actually taking some of the oxygen out. And actually the way that they do that is with a proton exchange membrane, where they have a diode and an anode here. They're electrolyzing the water. And so drinking 10 ounces of this water, maybe 3 to 5 times a day, is basically a therapeutic dose, especially if you're using the right kind of water bottle, which is producing enough hydrogen, which is measured in parts per billion or parts per million. This device here generates 2.5 parts per million at 5 minutes, and if you do it for 10 minutes, it generates 4.5 parts per million. It's important to know that some devices, like larger devices like pitchers, actually hydrogen dissipates. So if you don't drink it right away within the first hour or so, it will, the higher the amounts, slowly dissipates. So you would want to get more hydrogen in your water bottle if you're not going to drink it right away. And if you're not getting enough, you're not going to have any therapeutic benefits. So let's look at the study. So this study, which is kind of a meta-analysis, actually discovered that the benefits for hydrogen-enriched water or hydrogen-infused water is actually pretty impressive. So everything from cardiovascular health to antioxidant benefits to many athletes actually seeing physical endurance and performance benefits. It actually can benefit your liver function, and also has a benefit, believe it or not, on your mental health, which is interesting. It has been researched around COVID. I don't think that those results are very significant, and there's a general anti-aging benefit to drinking hydrogen water. So what does that mean? It means that you need to drink it often enough at a therapeutic dose to see the benefits. And the biggest benefit of hydrogen water you may not see at all, because it's antioxidative, or antioxidant benefits is not readily noticeable in your daily life. But in the long term, your body's going to love you for it. Here's another study that is talking about specifically the apoptosis effect of drinking hydrogen infused water. And what that means is that basically your cells are dying off either through apoptosis or autophagy. If you've known anybody who does fasting, they're creating this sort of this environment where your cells start to kind of almost eat each other, which is called autophagy, which is helping clean your system out. And apoptosis is a similar mechanism that happens in our cells, which is a way that we kind of clean out our senescent or malfunctioning cells. So hydrogen water can help support that. And this is another study that was published in Nature magazine that talks about that. And you guys can go look at these studies yourself on your own. I'll list them in the show notes below. Let's get back to the story at hand. There's a lot of scammers out there that are trying to pitch you bottles that are actually not effective. So if you're seeing bottles on Amazon that are for $89 or $79, they're not generating hydrogen water. There's not possible that they can actually they can afford to do the technology that is required to make hydrogen, to add hydrogen back into your water. And why do we know this? It's because the proton exchange membrane and the two, the anode and the cathode that are in this device are actually made from titanium. There's not a chance you can actually make it inexpensively. But let's dispel the rumors and the myth right now. All of these bottles, all of them are manufactured in China. So there's a YouTube video, which I'm going to show you in a minute too, which is a guy's complaining that, oh, you just ordered this bottle off of Alibaba and it's the same thing. But it's not true, because if you know anything, if you develop a product, it's going to get knocked off in China in about 10 minutes. Well, ironically, this product was developed in China, originally in Japan, but it then was mass produced in China. So many of the companies that are producing the bottles that are actually really effective, that have the therapeutic amount of hydrogen in them, are manufactured in China. So if you see that, you think that's a red flag that they're made in China, that's actually a myth. So I wouldn't worry about that part of it. And in fact, if you look at this gentleman's video who's calling 𝗪𝗓𝗢𝗪 a scammer, he actually, let's look at this video with this guy who's calling 𝗪𝗓𝗢𝗪 a scammer. Where is this video? Okay, here's this guy who's made a video on YouTube saying EchoGo bottle water scam with 𝗪𝗓𝗢𝗪, and he's calling out the fact that you can purchase this bottle in China, and that you can get it for $71 or $58 if you're buying 5,000 units or more. This is completely false. As a matter of fact, let's look at a couple of things about his YouTube channel that's kind of unique. One, this Alibaba merchant that he pulled up actually has no reviews and 2 buyers. So I doubt this is actually the right company, because if it was, then Echo Water would have purchased thousands and thousands of bottles from them, and yet they have no purchasers, no buyers, and no reviews. So this is not a great scam. But look at what he's done here. He's used the word scam, which frankly we just did in this video to get your attention. He's calling 𝗪𝗓𝗢𝗪 out, and then, whoa, lo and behold, if you click below his descriptions, look what he's doing. He's selling you 3 other water bottles, and he's making a commission on those bottles. So what's happened here, which is what happens a lot in this space, in the wellness space, he's using the hook to get you to watch the video telling you that 𝗪𝗓𝗢𝗪 is a scam, and then he's going to sell you his water bottles, and he's going to tell you that he was scammed. I've seen 𝗪𝗓𝗢𝗪 videos being used to promote knockoff bottles on Instagram and on TikTok, and they're not the bottles that 𝗪𝗓𝗢𝗪 recommended. In fact, the only one that I know of that 𝗪𝗓𝗢𝗪 has recommended is this bottle from Echo Water, and it's called the EchoGo Plus. And they also have a machine, a more high-end machine that kind of competes with the Kangen water machine also. So let's dispel the myth that this is a scam for this company. And then let's talk about the other scams you might run across as you're searching for hydrogen water. So let's do a little Google search, and then let's just play this video and see what happens when we do our Google search. I'm searching hydrogen water bottle reviews. So here's what happens on Google. The first 2 results are 2024's top hydrogen bottles, and the second one, and it's brought to you by the Consumer Tested Reviews. The second one is top 10 hydrogen water bottles, and there's one clear winner. Sorry. Now let's click on the Consumer Tested Reviews and see what happens. Okay, so we go to their site, and here we are. We tested 2024's top 5 hydrogen bottles, and look at the results. All of these results are for bottles for $89, $79. There's one from Purify Hydrogen Water, 𝗡𝗚𝗚 Hydrogen Water, $179 from 𝗓𝗏𝗡. So what people don't understand with these kind of review sites is that this is all paid for advertising. This is an affiliate website. So these are not real independent laboratories or studies that are used to review hydrogen water. These are engineered for affiliate sales, and they are buying the position on Google. If you look at the top of the result, that's a paid result. So they're paying to be advertised as the first result. And it's a very competitive marketplace, and it's run by a few companies offshore that own these top 10 review sites. So I would be very careful when you see those sites to not be seduced into believing that those are actually authentic results, because they're not. Okay, so if you're in the market for a hydrogen water bottle, or you're wanting to buy a hydrogen water device for your home, I would first find out if the company has had their water systems tested. And we did, and we found the H2 Analytics, which is an independent laboratory that tests hydrogen water, and they're using gas chromatography to test the water. This is not a cheap or a simple way to test for hydrogen in the water, but this is the test results, and I'm going to show it to you right here. And this is the test results for this device. And if you look on it, it says the short cycle, the mean parts per million was 2.43, and on the long cycle for 10 minutes, the mean was 4.59 parts per million. So if they're not showing you their test results, or you're not going to test it yourself, I wouldn't buy the water bottle, because if the lower priced water bottles produce a smaller amount of hydrogen, which if in fact they are producing hydrogen, you're going to have to drink so much water to get even the baseline therapeutic dose that it doesn't make sense. If it's not producing 2.5 to 4.5 or more, like with this device, you can drink 5 of these or 3 of them and still get a therapeutic dose, and depending on what time and how much hydrogen you're running the system at. So I would be very careful about all of the snake oil salesmen out there that are trying to pitch hydrogen water. We do believe in the benefits, and I do believe it's something you should try. Of course, everybody is different, and you may feel differently. I've been using this water bottle for the past 2 months, and I have to say I have an increased energy after post-workout. I actually sleep better. I'm finding my gut health to be greatly improved. And these are some of the natural benefits of drinking hydrogen water. So I know it's not an inexpensive device, and so many people cannot afford it, but it might be an investment that you might want to make for your long-term health. So that's our take on the hydrogen water scams on the internet.